Just into the Live 5 newsroom within the last half hour, we have learned the man who Casey police say abducted and killed a 6-year-old girl killed himself 3 days later.
Investigators in Casey, South Carolina, gave an update on the murder investigation of 6-year-old Faye Swetlik. Jason Raven live right now in Casey. He was at that news conference. Jason, law enforcement talked about how much this has affected them and affected the community.
Yeah, Ann and Bill, this has just been a tough case for a lot of people, and especially for law enforcement, the people in charge and trying to find Faye and bring her back home. You can see it during this press conference. There are moments when the Lexington County coroner and the director of the Department of Public Safety here in Casey were crying. There were moments where there were tears being shed during this press conference. And today was kind of more about getting a little bit more information on what exactly happened. We got a timeline of events in this case. Now, law enforcement say Taylor killed Faye a few hours after he abducted her last Monday. Now, the coroner's office says she was suffocated, and they say early Thursday, Taylor placed Faye's body in the woods near his residence. And around 10:30 a.m. Thursday, not long after Faye's body was found, police say they found Taylor on his back porch. Now, law enforcement did say they spoke with Taylor Wednesday at his apartment. He did give them permission to search his apartment as well, and they didn't discover anything that could have linked him to Faye's disappearance. But they did say they had some surveillance video of him doing something looking suspicious, but didn't specify exactly on what that was. But officials said during their search throughout the week, they're still unsure of where exactly Faye's body was.
Faye Swetlik quickly grabbed all of our hearts, and this case became and will always remain very personal for each of us. Faye will never be forgotten.
Now, law enforcement do say DNA collected at both scenes where Faye's body was found and where Taylor's body was found. Through that, they were able to connect both and link these cases. But just to recap, officials say that the neighbor, Cody Taylor, is responsible for Faye's death. In Casey tonight, Jason Raven, Live 5 News.
All right, thank you, Jason. And this evening, the city of Casey will hold a candlelight vigil for Faye. It's happening at 5:30 on the front lawn of Casey City Hall. There will be a public memorial service for Faye on Friday. That's happening at Trinity Baptist Church at 7 o'clock. Faye's family wants everyone who attends to wear bright colors. They say it would honor Faye's bright spirit.
Outside right now, a dreary afternoon here in the Low Country. We've seen lots of rain outside today, Ann.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh is joining us right now. And Bill, we're seeing a lot of green on the radar right now.
Yeah, we are. You're seeing a lot of that, and it goes way back here. So a lot of that rain is going to continue to kind of push into the low country. That's going to keep us kind of wet, kind of mild and muggy tonight. And then the cold air comes in, and maybe even a couple of surprises.
Could we say even dank perhaps tonight?
Absolutely. Not only tonight, but the next couple of days.
Wow.
Let me take this other radar here. This is a close-up radar. And again, you can see up and down the South Carolina coast, it's been wet. We just had Danielle Prince told you about this heavy rainfall that just came through the metro just a little while ago. That's now pushed off to the east. And again, we can't rule out more moderate rain showers. Here's Georgetown back up toward Andrews, Jamestown just north of Owendale. We are looking northern Charleston County, northern Berkeley County at moderate to heavy rain right there. Also back on over toward Goose Creek up 52, Somerville up say 17A, even back on out toward the Edisto River, which is running pretty high right now. Again, moderate to heavy rain there back just on the other side of North Charleston as well. Even back up toward St. Stephen Lanes and back up to Williamsburg County, we're looking at some moderate rain showers there. Right now, temperatures are holding pretty much in the lower 60s over to Moncks Corner, Somerville 63, North Charleston, Walterboro right now at about 60 degrees. If you're going out, bring the raincoat tonight. We definitely will keep temperatures holding in the low 60s. 8 o'clock about 61, 9 o'clock 62 at 10. In fact, temperatures might even inch up a little bit overnight tonight as some warmer air comes up from the south. Now, coming up for us right now, just the opposite. The next big thing, the next cold snap. And with that, we might see a couple of flakes here and there. We'll talk more about that and the chance in just a few minutes.
A judge has set bond at $25,000 this afternoon for suspended Colleton County Sheriff R.A. Strickland.
Today, the state grand jury in Columbia handed down 2 new indictments against Strickland. He's facing 15 new charges. Police reporter Harv Jacobs live in Columbia, where Sheriff Strickland was arraigned this afternoon.
And Harv, prosecutors say the sheriff used employees for his own benefit while they were working on the clock for the county.
And Bill, prosecutor Creighton Waters of the State Attorney General's office told the judge that Strickland used those employees to work on his houses, his businesses, and even on his campaign. Strickland was accompanied to the hearing this afternoon by his longtime friend and attorney Andy Savage. Prosecutor Waters told the judge the new charges were being investigated before Strickland's arrest for domestic violence. Waters said there was a code used called Code 48, and that code would signal the employees that it was time to work for Strickland on the county's dime. He also says Strickland used his power to force an employee to have a continuing sexual relationship with him. According to the prosecutor, the sheriff also illegally provided someone under 21 years of age with prescription pills and alcohol, even at a conference in Myrtle Beach. He says Strickland used tax dollars to foot the bill for the hotel room at that conference. Strickland's attorney Savage told the judge the sheriff's been getting outpatient treatment at the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston. The judge ordered Strickland to be on a GPS monitor, but not under house arrest, as the prosecutor wanted. He also said that he has to turn in all his guns into the sled tomorrow, and he also has to stay away from the sheriff's office. Live in Columbia, Harv Jacobs, Live 5 News.
A Charleston County School Board member defending this moment in which he seized the mic from a speaker at a community meeting. This was last night.
That heated moment happened during a discussion about a controversial bill that looks to dramatically change the school board.
Rob Way was in that meeting last night. Rob, you talked with Charleston County School Board member Kevin Hollingshed, and he says he stands by what he did when he took that mic.
Bill, and Kevin Hollingshed tells me that a community activist swore in their speech during that community meeting, and he said he was not going to allow someone to swear in the house of God. The meeting itself was held inside the Church of Christ on Azalea Drive in North Charleston. The heated moment happened about an hour into the community meeting. That activist saying it was insulting that he was asked to stop. Dozens of other people were there, from concerned parents to politicians, most speaking in support of a bill that passed unanimously in the House last month and has now been introduced in the Senate. It would make board members run within the same district lines as their county council member rather than the current at-large positions. Hollingshed saying that's where the focus should have stayed.
I was raised in the church, in the house of God. And you don't belliger God's house. That's the bottom line. They were gracious enough to open their doors up. You have to respect the church.
Hollingshed also tells me they're looking at setting up another community meeting sometime in the next couple weeks.
Right now, Colleton County deputies looking for a man that's been missing since last month. They're looking for 55-year-old Michael Montijo. Here he is. Deputies say he was reported missing back on January 26 near his home on Camp Buddy Road. A few days later, deputies say workers at a store near his home saw him willingly get into a gold Buick. If you see this man, please call the Colleton County Sheriff's Office. Charleston County deputies say a man who led them on a chase all the way from North Charleston to Mount Pleasant now in police custody. Eric Humphreys facing a number of charges, including DUI. Deputies say they tried to pull over Humphreys on Ashley Phosphate Road just before 8:30 last night. They say he drove off and eventually got on 526 headed toward Mount Pleasant. The sheriff's office says Humphreys took the exit at Long Point Road, where a deputy deployed stop sticks. That chase ended on Highway 17 near Hamlin Road. That's where deputies arrested Humphreys. He's being held in the Charleston County Jail.
Somerville police are investigating an armed robbery at a gas station. It happened early this morning at the Sunoco on Dorchester Road at Parlor Drive. Now, Somerville officers got there just before 3 o'clock. We've reached out to the Somerville Police Department for more details and to find out if they've identified any suspects in that case. The Democratic debate here in Charleston is 1 week from tonight.
And Ann, as you can imagine, crews are busy at the Gilliard Center in downtown Charleston trying to get everything ready. Lisa Weissman joins us now in the control room with more on the story. Hi, Lisa.
Well, the debate here next week will be just 4 days before voters here in South Carolina go to the polls to cast their votes in the Democratic presidential primary. And this isn't the first time the Gilliard Center has hosted a debate. You might remember it was the scene of one in the 2016 Democratic presidential primary. Now today, despite the rain, crews are building a stage outside of the facility along Huntington Street. We saw more than a dozen people doing that work. You can also now see the words CBS News 2020 posted up outside. That is who is hosting the debate next week. Right now, 5 candidates have qualified to be on the stage here in Charleston. They include Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, and Amy Klobuchar, as well as Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Michael Bloomberg, Tulsi Gabbard, and Tom Steyer have not yet qualified. Now, here's what those candidates must do if they want to qualify. They must get delegates in Nevada. Those caucuses are coming up on Saturday. Or they must be at least 10% in 4 different approved polls, or at least 12% in polls right here in South Carolina. Ann?
All right, thanks a lot, Lisa. And there is another debate tomorrow night in Nevada. The top 5 candidates will be there, as will Michael Bloomberg. It will be his first time on the debate stage. Remember, South Carolina's Republican Party canceled its primary. We'll have full coverage of the Democratic primary here in South Carolina on February 29th, right here on Live 5 News.
And the top of the Westmoreland Bridge this evening continues to be a slow go. This is a live look here out at 526 eastbound and westbound, both directions. We've seen very slow speeds, but especially getting into the West Ashley area from North Charleston, also heading to the top of the Don Holt Bridge. 526 westbound, bumper to bumper speeds there also in the eastbound side as well. And then noticing some slower speeds, I-26 westbound getting out of downtown, mainly from the Romney Street exit all the way on up to the International Boulevard area. Coming up, we'll go ahead and check out those drive times, which are rather slow across the Low Country.